In a world ravaged by dimensional gates, monstrous crystal beasts brought humanity to its knees. But in the face of extinction, some humans unlocked the power to hatch their own crystal beast eggs. These chosen few became crystal beast tamers, fighting fire with fire against the invaders. With immense power came incredible wealth and status, placing them at the top of the new world order. Yet for our protagonist, this world of power and prestige is just a distant dream. He wakes up feeling a strange heavy pressure, thinking it's just sleep paralysis. He quickly realizes the weight is a woman named Lily who somehow moved from the couch to his bed. Trapped in her surprisingly strong grip, his morning gets even more complicated when his sister calls. He awkwardly answers the phone trying to sound normal while a woman sleeps soundly on his chest. But the call takes a sharp turn, his expression shifting to pure panic as he promises to be there immediately. The panicked call awakens Lily, who sleepily asks what's wrong, leaving him to stammer through an explanation. But hearing his sister is in danger, her expression hardens with fierce determination to help. He's completely flustered by her intensity, barely registering their awkward position as he agrees to the rescue. Meanwhile, his sister Luna is cornered by thugs trying to bluff her way out by mentioning her brother's strength. The gang's boss appears, a smug man with a massive crystal beast, dismissing the protagonist as just another fighter. He boasts that mere physical prowess is meaningless against his precious, officially registered crystal beast. Luna's face falls in terror, realizing her brother, a supposed talentless nobody, is up against a certified tamer. Just then, the protagonist and Lily burst in, dramatically arriving to save the day. The thugs are shocked by his arrival, mocking his audacity for walking straight into his own demise. The boss condescendingly warns him that taking on a real crystal beast tamer is far beyond his league. The tamer gives a sickening ultimatum, offering to spare the protagonist's life in exchange for his sister. The smug villain then clarifies his terms, planning to take Luna for himself until he gets bored. But his wondering eyes quickly land on Lily, realizing she's another prize to be claimed. He then lunges for Lily, arrogantly assuming she's a replacement offering. But the protagonist explodes into action, sending a fist flying into the villain's face. The powerful impact sends the tamer crashing to the floor in a daze. As his crystal beast roars in fury, the boss clutches his bruised face, stunned by the unexpected power. Our hero smirks, declaring he doesn't need a crystal beast when his own physical power is beyond human. Enraged by the defiance, the boss unleashes his ultimate weapon, ordering his crystal snake to attack. The crystal snake obeys, gathering a volatile sphere of energy in its jaws, ready to annihilate its target. The crystal snake's venom blast erupts, engulfing the entire room in a chaotic explosion of energy. Convinced of his victory, the tamer gloats that his expensive beast's corrosive venom is inescapable. He laughs maniacally, revealing his twisted plan to claim Luna after her brother is dead. Luna watches in horror, her hope crumbling as she fears for her brother's fate. But as the dust settles, the hero stands unscathed, mocking the villain's claim of being a true tamer. With a confident smirk, he prepares to summon a power the villain could only dream of. The tamer's arrogance shatters into pure disbelief, unable to comprehend how this nobody has a beast contract. At her master's command, Lily levitates, unleashing a torrent of golden energy that cracks the very floor. Her form shifts and changes in a brilliant flash, her casual clothes transforming into radiant crystal armor. She emerges as a royal-class humanoid crystal beast, ready to deliver her master's judgment upon his enemies. The tamer is stunned by Lily's radiant form, his own crystal snake cowering in her presence. In a desperate frenzy, he screams at his terrified beast to attack, unable to accept its fear. Enraged by its defiance, he resorts to a cruel control device to force its obedience. The crystal snake writhes in agony as the device sends punishing electrical shocks through its body. Lily, disgusted by the abuse, instantly shatters the remote, freeing the creature from its torment. The protagonist calmly informs the villain that without his tool, his commands are now meaningless. He then gently offers the abused crystal snake a chance at a new life by forming a contract with him. The snake accepts, glowing with a new purple energy as the protagonist reveals his unique taming gift. As the new contract is sealed, the crystal snake is enveloped in a brilliant light, beginning its own humanoid transformation. It emerges as a second powerful humanoid beast, revealing the true unheard-of extent of our hero's power. The newly transformed beast pledges her eternal loyalty, thanking him for her salvation. She gets uncomfortably close, her forward declaration of servitude leaving her new master completely flustered. A fierce rivalry instantly sparks as Lily jealously confronts the new beast for getting too close to their master. Meanwhile, the authorities arrive to apprehend the defeated tamer who struggles uselessly against his restraints. An officer calmly lists his numerous crimes, confirming the villain will face a very long time behind bars. After the cleanup, the officer thanks the protagonist who humbly insists he was only there to save his sister. However, the officer points out a legal complication. As an unregistered individual, he can't legally own such a powerful beast. She proposes a simple solution, strongly suggesting he officially register as a Tamer to legitimize his power. Back at home, his sister Luna eyes the new addition suspiciously, questioning if he's brought yet another woman into their lives. He later studies for the Tamer exam, weighing the pros of a better life against the hassle of a written test. He stares in disbelief as Lily, despite eating a mountain of food, claims she's still not full. She cutely speculates her insatiable hunger might be a sign of an impending evolution. The possibility of her evolution sparks his wild imagination, picturing some rather appealing new forms. Now completely motivated, he's fired up to pass the Tamer exam and unlock Lily's next stage of power. The former crystal snake interrupts, clinging to him and demanding a name of her own. He thoughtfully names the new beast Fizz, delighting her and sparking a fiery rage in the jealous Lily. He gets a call from the officer who confirms his decision to take the Tamer exam and points him toward an upcoming test. She offers to send him the study materials, cheekily implying he can repay the favor with his services in the future. A few days later, the written exam is complete and the candidates gather in a massive stadium for the practical test. He stands confidently in the arena with Fizz in her massive snake form, deciding to keep his humanoid beasts a secret for the time being. A small brilliant blue crystal beast dives aggressively toward Fizz from the sky. The protagonist yells a warning to Fizz, bracing for an unexpected battle. But a panicked woman rushes forward, desperately pleading for them to hold their fire. She clumsily collides with her own beast, apologizing for its sudden and uncontrolled lunge. Composing herself, she explains that her newly acquired beast is still quite unruly. She introduces herself as Jiang Shenling, and our hero gives his name in return, clearing up the misunderstanding. Filled with competitive spirit, she wishes him the best of luck in the upcoming exam. Other candidates watch her leave, noting the rarity of her bird beast and its strange fixation on snakes. It's finally his turn, and he's called to the center of the arena to begin his practical test. His first opponent is revealed, a common soldier class windling, a bird-type crystal beast. The examiners in the stands note his terrible luck, pitting a snake against its natural predator. Undeterred, he commands Fizz to immediately launch a powerful venom shot. The nimble windling easily evades the attack, gracefully weaving through the energy blasts. His reckless opening move earns him scorn from the examiners who write him off as a hopeless rookie. Fizz suddenly appears exhausted on the arena floor, seemingly unable to continue the fight. The windling seizes the opportunity, diving down for a finishing blow on the vulnerable snake. At her master signal, Fizz springs to life, revealing her exhaustion was just a clever ruse. She instantly ensnares the diving bird in her powerful coils, completely trapping her opponent. With the windling immobilized, Fizz prepares to deliver a final inescapable venomous attack. The stunning turnaround leaves the announcer speechless as the lead examiner admits the feint was good enough to fool even her. The announcer confirms his victory, and he smugly concludes that becoming a tamer is easier than he thought. His attention shifts as he spots the girl from earlier, Jiang Shenling, stepping into the arena for her own test. She unleashes her own beast, a magnificent and rare divine class ice crystal phoenix. Her opponent is a common soldier class red-spotted leopard, which charges in recklessly. With a single overwhelming attack, the ice phoenix ends the match, securing an easy victory for its master. But just as the match concludes, a strange fiery beast appears on the field, confusing the protagonist. The rogue beast lunges toward Jiang Shenling, who smirks, completely unfazed by the sudden danger. Her cold, calculating gaze reveals she was expecting this interruption all along. In a flash of light, Lily intercepts the attack, appearing out of nowhere to shield the other girl. The protagonist watches in pure panic, utterly bewildered as to why Lily has just entered the fray. Lily struggles to hold back the fiery beast, recognizing its immense and overwhelming power. The rogue beast sends Jiang Shenling sprawling with a powerful swipe of its flaming tail. Snapping out of his confusion, the protagonist shouts and lunges forward to help the fallen girl. Jiang Shenling looks up, completely stunned, as he suddenly appears by her side. He pulls her to safety just as the beast's claws tear through the spot where she lay. Lily calls out for backup, admitting the rogue beast is too much for her to handle alone. Taking charge of the situation, he confidently prepares to lead a coordinated attack. Fizz joins the fray, and they realize the leopard is fighting with a mindless berserk rage. Jiang Shenling reveals the leopard is her former opponent, now driven mad, and insists on helping to subdue it. Without hesitation, the protagonist orders Fizz to unleash a venom shot, kicking off their counterattack. The berserk leopard leaps through the venom blast, completely unaffected by the attack. Its eyes glow with a sinister green energy, confirming it's not fighting of its own will. Seeing the venom fail, he signals Lily to take over the fight. Lily unleashes a brilliant streak of energy, intercepting the beast and slamming it to the ground. With the leopard subdued, the protagonist stands over it, coolly announcing their victory. Panicked officials rush to Jiang Shenling's side, apologizing profusely for the dangerous malfunction. The protagonist listens in as the staff wonders how a controlled test beast could suddenly go wild. The chief examiner approaches him, praising his excellent work and introducing herself. Her professional demeanor shatters as she realizes Lily is a fabled humanoid crystal beast. Later, in a high-tech lab, he analyzes the subdued leopard, determined to uncover the truth behind its rampage. The chief examiner marvels at Lily's form, admitting she's never encountered a humanoid crystal beast. She confirms the Tamer Association has no record of such a creature, then summons her own beast for comparison. A stunning seven-tailed fox beast materializes in a swirl of pink energy. The fox beast, however, seems more interested in the protagonist, much to the examiner's surprise. As the fox clings to him, Fizz suddenly coils around her master, glowing with an intense, pulsating light. He stares in shock, a sudden realization dawning as he recognizes the signs of an impending evolution. A system notification confirms it. Fizz evolves to soldier rank, gaining a powerful new petrifying gaze. He reaches out in awe to his newly empowered beast whose transformation leaves everyone in the room speechless. The examiner explains that crystal beasts evolve by accumulating experience, climbing through established ranks of power. This prompts a pouting Lily to question her own progress, with the examiner suggesting rarer beasts need more time. The examiner offers him special capsules to store his evolved beast, noting their high cost but giving him a few for free. He presents one of the high-tech capsules to his newly evolved crystal snake. With a flash of red light, Fizz is safely stored away, much to her master's relief. But Lily panics at the thought of being put in a capsule, forcing him to quickly reassure her. The examiner officially confirms his new rank as a tamer, extending a very personal invitation to visit her lab again. She gets uncomfortably close, promising generous rewards if he can provide more data on humanoid beasts. Leaving the test hall, he celebrates his new official status and the financial stability that comes with it. He's surprised to find Jiang Shenling waiting for him, eager to properly thank him for his help. Bound by her family's code of honor, she insists on repaying her debt and asks him to name his price. He briefly considers asking for a fortune but decides a long-term connection is more valuable, suggesting they start as friends. Jiang Shenling is completely flustered, misinterpreting his friendly offer as a romantic confession. He watches her run off in a daze, promising to think over his proposal. She vows to give him her answer the next time they meet, leaving him slightly confused. Later that night, the city settles into a quiet calm under a starry sky. Back in bed, he tries to sleep but can't stop thinking about the day's bizarre events. Suddenly, the high-tech capsule holding Fizz begins to pulse with an intense red light. Fizz emerges in her humanoid form, declaring her intention to join her master in bed. He awakens to find himself trapped between both of his affectionate humanoid beasts. A mysterious voice echoes in Lily's dreams, telling her it's time to awaken her true potential. In a vision, she sees her ultimate form, learning she must find 12 nights to unlock the path to becoming a queen. The next morning, Lily excitedly recounts her dream while the protagonist thoughtfully considers the path to kingship she mentioned. He recalls hearing a mysterious voice when he first found her, speaking of helping her achieve royalty. But seeing her happily devouring snacks, he wryly wonders if she's destined to be the king of eating instead. Their journey takes them to the imposing high-tech headquarters of the Crystal Beast Master Association. He explains to a curious Lily that this is where new tamers must work to earn money and association points. A receptionist greets him by name, offering him the choice to shop, train, or accept a commission. He's unimpressed by the low-paying beginner missions and the receptionist explains that competition is fierce for new tamers. However, one mission catches his eye with its massive reward, and he questions why it remains unclaimed. The receptionist nervously reveals the mission was posted by a Dr. K.A. Young, a woman infamous for bringing bad luck to her associates. He's surprised to learn that even in the world of tamers, superstition and reputation can dictate a mission's fate. Unfazed by the warnings, he confidently accepts the mission, eager to test just how unlucky it can be. They arrive at the sprawling white pine forest, realizing the mission's vague directions make their task a true challenge. After clearing out some wild beasts, he asks Lily about her evolution, but she sadly confirms she feels no change. She apologetically clutches her chest, feeling she has let her master down by not progressing faster. Just then, Lily spots their target, a rare infant stage twin-tail crystal beast hiding in the undergrowth. He approaches the small creature with a friendly grin, attempting to coax it into coming with him peacefully. The beast is startled by his approach and flees, prompting Lily to urge a frantic chase through the woods. He loses Lily in the pursuit and stops, only to hear a hidden voice gloating that he's walked right into a trap. Alerted by the sound, he cautiously peeks from behind a tree, sensing another person's presence. A sinister-looking man reveals himself, having already captured the twin tail and plots to sell the rare beast on the black market. He feels the capsule shaking and realizes Fizz is agitated, connecting her reaction to her black market past. The poacher summons a massive poison spider, angrily demanding the eavesdropper reveal themselves. Our hero steps out of hiding with Fizz, confronting the poacher about his black market dealings. The poacher's eyes widen with greed, captivated by Fizz's rare and powerful humanoid form. Without hesitation, the poacher commands his spider to attack, launching a sticky web at Fizz. Despite her master's warning, Fizz is too slow and gets ensnared by the spider's glowing web. The poacher gloats confident that his beast's endless supply of silk will keep her trapped. With Fizz immobilized, the villain orders his spider to move in for the final venomous strike. Thinking fast, the protagonist commands Fizz to unleash her secret weapon, the serpent's gaze. Fizz's eyes erupt with a brilliant green energy, locking onto the approaching spider with a petrifying stare. The spider is instantly frozen in place, crackling with green energy as the petrification takes hold. The poacher stares in disbelief, realizing both of their crystal beasts are now completely immobilized. Refusing to accept defeat, he clenches his fist, convinced he can still turn the tables in a physical fight. But the protagonist reveals the poacher's fatal error as the web only trapped Fizz's torso, leaving her powerful lower body free. Fizz's tail whips out, binding the poacher as the hero smugly decides to inspect his ill-gotten gains. He finds a trove of valuable energy crystals and a suspicious potion noting the high cost of the poacher's haul. Deciding to leave the junk for the association, he secures the twin-tailed beast, officially completing his mission. With the poacher dealt with, he turns his attention to finding Lily, who vanished during the chase. He finds her battered and bruised, desperately urging him to flee from a new unseen danger. A new enemy emerges, a high-ranking gang member named Queen Bee, who declares her intention to defeat him and capture Lily. The protagonist confronts the new villain while Fizz warns him of her immense strength. Queen Bee orders her massive insect beast to unleash a volley of explosive stingers. The powerful blast sends Fizz flying, and her master cries out in shock. He's caught in the explosive aftermath, stunned that the villain would dare attack a Tamer directly. Queen Bee mockingly reminds him that her organization doesn't care for rules or fair play. With a cruel smile, she gives the final order to eliminate him completely, but her beast suddenly recoils in pain, leaving its master completely bewildered by the interruption. Fizz struggles to her feet, her eye glowing with power as she refuses to be defeated. He praises Fizz for her bravery before recalling her to her capsule to recover. The villain boasts as her night-level beast shatters the petrification, easily breaking free from Fizz's attack. Queen Bee scowls in frustration, realizing her targets and the captured twin-tailed beast have suddenly disappeared. Now in hiding, he knows Fizz can't fight and must devise a new strategy to face the night-level threat. He's caught off guard as Lily leans in close, her expression intense and focused on something strange. She reveals he's been marked with a sweet scent, the same one as their enemy, confirming he's being tracked. To protect it, he releases the twin-tailed beast, urging it to flee before the real fight begins. He explains the mission is secondary to the creature's safety as the coming battle will be far too intense. He presents Lily with the poacher's energy crystals, hoping the experience boost will be enough to turn the tables. Meanwhile, Queen Bee confidently follows the tracking scent, closing in on her prey's location. But even after consuming the crystals, Lily feels no evolution, leaving him to wonder what key component they are missing. Their thoughts are cut short as a devastating energy beam tears through the forest aimed directly at them. Lily throws herself in front of her master, absorbing the full impact of the devastating blast. Queen Bee gloats over her cornered prey, declaring that their time to run is finally over. In a desperate bid to save him, Lily offers herself up, but the villain scoffs at her predictable loyalty. The villain decides the cleanest solution is to simply eliminate the protagonist and take Lily without resistance. Lily is overcome with guilt, feeling she has failed her master when he needed her most. Her mind races with a single desperate thought. If only she could evolve, she could turn the tables. A sudden overwhelming surge of power erupts, catching Queen Bee completely by surprise. A brilliant light reveals a new draconic form, roaring with protective fury for its master. The protagonist stares in awe, realizing in this critical moment that Lily has finally evolved. She emerges in her new form, a royal-type apprentice knight radiating a power they've never seen before. Unimpressed, Queen Bee reminds Lily that her master is still a hostage, demanding she surrender or he dies. Lily's new form unleashes a wave of draconic energy, revealing powerful new fire-based abilities that shock her opponent. The villain's confidence shatters, unable to believe she is being intimidated by the sheer force of Lily's new power. Seizing the opportunity, the protagonist breaks free from the beast's grasp and commands Lily to press the attack. The enemy beast retaliates with a storm of explosive needles, but Lily stands ready to meet the attack head-on. With intense focus, Lily's draconic aura forms a powerful shield, completely neutralizing the volley of attacks. Queen Bee is stunned, realizing Lily's power has grown as if she skipped an entire evolutionary stage. Lily unleashes a torrent of dragon fire, completely engulfing the enemy beast in a blazing inferno. As her insect beast falls in defeat, Queen Bee reveals the fight isn't over, hinting at another powerful creature in her arsenal. A swirling vortex of purple energy surrounds the furious villain as she prepares to summon her next crystal beast. But her summons is cut short as a blast of pink energy slams into her from the side. A massive, multi-tailed fox beast appears, revealing the twin-tailed beast has brought powerful backup. Queen Bee scoffs at the new arrival, arrogantly believing one more wild beast won't be enough to defeat her. But her confidence crumbles as she makes a hasty retreat, vowing to settle the score another day. She vanishes in a cloud of pink smoke, leaving the protagonist to wonder why she suddenly fled. He dryly notes that for a villain, her dramatic exit felt more like a cowardly escape. The mysterious fox beast approaches them, its intentions unclear as it lets out a low growl. Lily translates for her master, revealing the beast is grateful for him saving its young and wishes to invite them to its home. He's stunned by her ability to communicate with it, and she confirms she can understand the general meaning. Seeing a rare opportunity, he decides to accept the invitation, hoping to learn more about the wild crystal beast tribes. The fox beast leads them through a glowing archway into the hidden sun-drenched territory of its tribe. They arrive at a serene oasis, home to the entire fox clan and its majestic ancient-looking leader. He marvels at the discovery of this secret location, a place completely uncharted by the Tamer Association. Their welcome turns hostile as the tribe rushes forward, their distrust of humans fueled by past encounters. One of the foxes lunges with bared fangs ready to attack the unwelcome visitors, but their guide leaps to their defense, roaring fiercely to halt the tribe's aggressive advance. The guide fox confirms they are under its protection, declaring the area a sacred land where they can rest safely. Lily warns him away from a sacred stone at a nearby shrine, explaining it's a cursed artifact representing the tribe's ancestor. Despite the warning, Lily is enveloped in a powerful aura, claiming the sacred stone is calling out directly to her. The energy surges uncontrollably, pulling her toward the shrine as her master watches helplessly. He cries out her name as Lily is dragged toward the shrine by an overwhelming force. The energy deposits her before the sacred stone where she stares in awe at what emerges. A powerful entity awakens, sensing the familiar aura of a red dragon descendant after a long slumber. Lily recognizes the figure as the legendary ancestor of the Nine-Tailed tribe, much to the ancient being's surprise. The magnificent fox beast introduces herself as Amaterasu, the progenitor of the entire Nine-Tailed clan. Amaterasu reveals that Lily carries the aura of the long-fallen Red Dragon King, leaving the protagonist to ponder her immense age. However, she dismisses Lily's current power as weak, a mere echo of her noble bloodline. The protagonist defiantly takes Lily's hand, vowing they will achieve true strength together. He then questions Amaterasu about Lily's prophetic dream of becoming a king. Amaterasu confirms the legend of a returning king but casually dismisses it as an old unlikely myth. Amaterasu finds Lily's connection to humans interesting and gifts her a powerful sword. The weapon is a damaged Lord-level item, the Torrent Sword, which grants control over water. Lily is stunned by the incredible value of the gift she now holds. Amaterasu dismisses its worth, calling the damaged blade a simple investment in a future king. Before vanishing, she reveals 10 divine swords are scattered across the world, urging them to find the others. The protagonist realizes that finding these swords and the fabled knights is the key to unlocking Lily's true power. As Lily grips the new sword, it erupts with an uncontrollable torrent of water energy. The swirling energy coalesces into the form of a massive ferocious water dragon. The newly formed beast towers over them, its immense power shocking both Lily and her master. Lily cries out for help as she's dragged into the watery vortex, forcing her master to rush to her aid. He fearlessly leaps into the raging vortex, reaching out to save a terrified Lily. Holding her steady, he reminds her of her royal bloodline, urging her to feel the power and control it. A spark of understanding ignites in her eyes as she prepares to tame the wild energy. The massive water dragon roars, challenging her claim to its immense power. With focused intent, she holds the blade aloft, commanding the torrent sword to finally submit to its new master. The water dragon threshes in a final desperate struggle against her overwhelming will. The tamed water spirit circles her, issuing a final challenge to prove her worthiness as its king. With eyes blazing, she accepts the challenge, ready to unleash her full power. The spirit unleashes its final test, splitting into a horde of water dragons that descend upon her. Amaterasu watches in shock, realizing Lily didn't just master the sword but unlocked a legendary power, forcing the ancient fox to question her true lineage. Amaterasu realizes the protagonist is the key to awakening Lily's power, a rare combination of sage and Tamer. The entire fox tribe bows in unison, their previous hostility replaced with profound respect. Confused by their sudden reverence, Lily is prompted by her master to embrace her new royal status. Lily explains they've earned the tribe's highest respect and are invited to witness a sacred evolution ceremony. As a sign of their new status, the foxes bring them offerings of food which Lily eagerly devours. Under the full moon, the fox clan gathers and howls in unison, signaling the start of their ritual. They observe the ritual as Lily explains the young foxes are absorbing the full moon's energy to evolve. A young fox rides in a surge of energy as new tails begin to sprout, marking its transformation. The transformation concludes in a burst of purple energy, revealing the fox's newly empowered form to the tribe. The twin tail they saved, now a three-tailed fox, asks to join their adventures as thanks for their help. An elder of the fox tribe quickly tempers the young beast's excitement with a stern look. Lily translates the elder's warning, explaining that the young fox is still too inexperienced for the human world. He kindly offers the young fox a future partnership, promising to wait until it's strong enough to join him. With their business concluded, he decides it's time for them to depart under the cover of night. But their exit is interrupted by Amaterasu, who suddenly reappears, claiming she forgot to give them something important. She presents him with a glowing shard from the sacred stone, a token that will guarantee the fox tribe's loyalty. As she prepares to vanish once more, he cheekily asks if she's certain she hasn't forgotten anything else this time. Finally leaving the sacred grounds, he reflects on the unexpected haul from their adventure. His thoughts drift to the young fox, imagining what its humanoid form might look like if he were to make a contract. Back in the city, he recounts the entire unbelievable story at Dr. Qiang's research lab. He considers the mission a failure since they didn't bring back the twin-tailed beast. But the doctor ignores the mission, intensely demanding details about Amaterasu and the sacred stone. She reveals the mission was actually about research, and his discovery of a hidden tribe is a massive success. Deciding to keep the prophecy secret, he carefully asks if she's heard of knights or divine swords. The doctor dismisses the idea of knights but confirms she has heard rumors about the divine swords. She recounts stories of tamers who mysteriously vanish during high-stakes competitions. These tamers would reappear days later with amnesia, only recalling a vague memory of a burning demonic sword. He connects the dots wondering if this burning demonic sword is one of the legendary blades Amaterasu spoke of. His thoughts are interrupted as Fizz suddenly materializes, wrapping her arms around her startled master. She eagerly suggests they begin some special training immediately, leaving him flustered by her forwardness. Fizz is consumed by a new rivalry, determined not to be outdone by Lily's sudden power-up. Meanwhile, Lily struggles to control her new sword, accidentally unleashing an overwhelming torrent of water. The blast leaves her completely drenched, sheepishly admitting she's fine despite the chaotic display of power. He reassures a discouraged Lily that she's doing great as she admits controlling water is far more difficult than fire. He connects the doctor's story to the divine swords, realizing he needs to find a battle to investigate the mystery further. Just as he decides this, a mysterious figure watches them from the shadows, having finally tracked them down. The stalker is revealed to be Jiang Shenling, who nervously tries to steel herself for their fated meeting. His group is startled by her sudden appearance and he questions what she's doing there in the middle of the woods. Seeing a perfect opportunity, he smoothly suggests a sparring match since he was looking for an opponent anyway. Her nervousness instantly transforms into competitive fire as she eagerly accepts the challenge to test her newly evolved beast. Jiang Shenling summons her magnificent Knight-class Frostfire Phoenix ready for battle. He's stunned by a beast's rapid evolution, its icy aura instantly chilling the air around them. He reminds Lily to stay focused as they've dealt with Knight-level threats before. Jiang Shenling orders a preemptive strike, commanding her Phoenix to encase Lily in a coffin of ice. Lily is instantly trapped within a massive, intricately formed prison of solid ice. He wonders if his opponent has been hiding her true power, but remains confident this icy prison won't hold Lily for long. At her master's command, Lily's eyes blaze with fiery energy from within her frozen confinement. She unleashes a massive explosion of royal flames shattering the ice coffin from the inside out. The intense heat wave blasts past Jiang Shenling, who grits her teeth and orders her beast to press the attack. He meets her fierce determination with a confident smirk, commanding Lily to unleash her full power. Lily's draconic flames meet the Phoenix's icy power in a stunning elemental clash. Their clashing energies create a swirling vortex, leaving the protagonist to question its origin. He realizes with a shock that this isn't just an energy blast but the rumored portal from the legends. Lily confirms his suspicion, feeling a familiar powerful call from within the portal just like the sacred stone. With no hesitation, he decides to follow the call, leading Lily straight into the mysterious gateway. The swirling vortex pulls them in, sealing the entrance behind them in a flash of light. Jiang Shenling is left utterly bewildered as her opponents vanish from the battlefield without a trace. They emerge into a hellish landscape of fire and brimstone, a secret realm far from the world they know. He realizes the portal's activation was no accident, worrying their fight may have drawn others into this dangerous dimension. But Lily's eyes gleam with purpose, certain that this secret realm is intentionally calling out to them. Lily cries out in alarm as a strange green flame erupts from the fiery abyss below them. He calmly observes the ghostly fire, realizing it seems to be guiding them somewhere specific. The flame forms a monstrous gate, and Lily senses the powerful master of this realm waiting inside. He's stunned to learn Lily can read the ancient runes, which ominously invite them into an abyss of eternal resentment. Though she can read the script, its meaning is a mystery, prompting him to lead them deeper to find answers. Their exploration is immediately cut short as they are ambushed by a swarm of vicious fiery dragon beasts. A much larger dragon lunges forward, preparing to unleash a devastating energy blast at point-blank range. But Lily confidently steps forward, ready to unleash the full power of her newly acquired torrent sword. He watches in awe as the sword grants her the power of a legendary horse-headed fish-tailed beast. With a roar, the water spirit manifests, and Lily declares she is finally ready to wield its incredible power. He pumps his fist, amazed that Lily can wield the torrent sword with such insane power on her very first try. But Lily, consumed by battle rage, recklessly charges after the fleeing beasts, forcing her master to call out an alarm. Her eyes glow with fierce determination, vowing to destroy anyone who dares to harm the one she loves. Elsewhere in the fiery realm, a powerful dragon writhes in agony, consumed by a strange overwhelming purple energy. It realizes the sword's presence has awakened its latent battle instincts, granting it immense new strength. The true master of this realm senses the sword's wielder, refusing to surrender the power it has hoarded for its revenge. This master recalls a painful past, watching over its captured brethren and vowing vengeance against the humans who wronged them. The scene shifts to a brutal battlefield where several tamers lie defeated, victims of this beast's wrath. A tamer is viciously taken down by a wolf beast, which is itself pierced by a blade of dark energy. The defeated tamer accuses his female opponent of cowardice for attacking him directly, but she remains unimpressed by his pleas. The villain mockingly agrees with the defeated tamer's insult, calling herself a charmless leftover. His taunts continue, pushing her into a furious rage as she clutches her head. In a fit of anger, she silences her opponent's insults permanently. Her rage quickly turns to insecurity as she wonders why her blind dates always ghost her. A cruel inner voice confirms her fears, telling her it's because nobody wants her. Elsewhere, the protagonist finally stops, exhausted from chasing Lily through the sweltering hellscape. He's suddenly confronted by a familiar voice as Queen Bee emerges from the shadows. She aggressively questions him while he realizes he's in a terrible position with Lily missing. Confused by her bizarre behavior, he prepares for a fight, sensing something is very wrong with her. Her menacing facade crumbles as she collapses in despair, questioning her own attractiveness. She spirals into a crisis, lamenting her lack of romance and the harsh rejections she's faced. Seeing his chance, he plays along to buy time, smoothly complimenting her and telling her she's charming. As a bewildered Lily watches from afar, the villain introduces herself as Chenxing, completely taken by his flattery. But Lily returns with a vengeance, furiously pulling her master away from the enemy. The villain taunts a territorial Lily, accusing her of having feelings for the protagonist. A flustered Lily denies the accusation, clinging possessively to her master's arm. He tries to de-escalate the situation, calmly asking a very worked-up Lily to relax. Their argument is cut short as Queen Bee unleashes a powerful attack, demanding to know if they found the holy sword. Lily cries out a warning, shoving her master to safety as the deadly energy blade hurtles toward them. A new villain arrives on the scene, an officer named Razor, ready to clean up Queen Bee's mess. He tries to turn Queen Bee against her comrade, blaming the organization for ruining her personal life. Razor scoffs at the attempt, confident that Queen Bee's loyalty to their cause is unshakable. Boasting about their generous pay, Razor commands his powerful twin-blade mantis to crush them. The mantis beast lunges with incredible speed, its bladed arms a blur of purple energy. Lily's hands tremble on her sword, recognizing the overwhelming power gap between them. The protagonist presses his psychological attack, claiming money can't buy the affection Queen Bee craves. Annoyed by the taunts, Razor orders his beast to activate a power boost and end the fight. A powerful energy slash from the mantis sends a struggling Lily sprawling to the ground. Her master cries out in alarm, a look of dread on his face as he realizes the gravity of their situation. With Lily down, Razor's beast moves in for the final blow, preparing to unleash a decisive steel blade slash. The massive mantis beast looms over a terrified Lily, ready to strike the final blow. But Fizz suddenly appears, coiling her powerful body around the enemy beast to intercept the attack. Fizz struggles against the mantis' overwhelming strength, recognizing the incredible power gap between them. A sinister voice echoes in the protagonist's mind, taunting him with the futility of their struggle. Razor grows impatient with the delay, questioning if Queen Bee has truly been swayed by their enemy's words. The protagonist presses his advantage, passionately appealing to Queen Bee's desire for a life beyond her organization. His mind is assaulted by conflicting voices, one urging him to save everyone and another telling him to give up. Razor tries to snap Queen Bee out of it, insisting money is all she needs, but the protagonist argues for true love. Losing his patience, Razor orders his beast to ignore the others and eliminate the protagonist first. The mantis unleashes a new attack, a deadly volley of explosive needles aimed directly at the hero. Razor is stunned as a powerful energy beam intercepts his mantis attack from an unexpected source. Taking advantage of the chaos, Queen Bee boldly propositions the protagonist who cautiously plays along. The sudden romantic development sends both Lily and Fizz into a silent, jealous rage. Furious at her betrayal, Razor declares his cleaning house and prepares to eliminate former comrade. A panicked Queen Bee orders her own beast to defend her, unleashing a flurry of stingers. Razor scoffs at her desperate move and commands his mantis to counter with a devastating wind blade attack. The protagonist checks on a flustered Lily who insists she's unharmed despite the close call. He quickly strategizes, asking Lily to prepare her ultimate water attack while the two villains fight. Razor's beast easily overpowers its opponent, cutting through Queen Bee's defenses with a single powerful slash. With her beast defeated, Razor turns on a horrified Queen Bee, promising to make her pay for her treachery. With a look of fierce determination, he declares that the fight is finally over. Lily raises the torrent sword, gathering its immense power into a massive water dragon. She unleashes the full force of the blade, creating a devastating vortex of pure energy. The vortex engulfs both villains, with a furious Razor vowing his return as is swept away. The protagonist is stunned, realizing he just accidentally took out his own temporary ally. His moment of confusion is interrupted by his two beasts who are now competing for his attention. He's suddenly trapped between them as they make strange demands, wondering if they hear the sinister voice too. The mysterious voice taunts him, urging him to stop resisting and give in to his desires. A massive shadowy figure looms over them, promising oblivion if he succumbs to the temptation. Overwhelmed and flustered, he desperately tries to calm his two possessive beasts. The shadowy figures close in, revealing themselves to be ghostly female apparitions surrounding the group. Fizz jealously accuses her master of being distracted by other women even in this dire situation. A new voice echoes, entrusting the torrent sword with the sole duty of protecting its new king. He recognizes the mysterious voice as a powerful blue aura envelops him completely. A monstrous clawed foot suddenly slams into the ground, heralding the arrival of a new threat. The massive dragon beast unleashes a devastating beam of concentrated fire directly at them. Its glowing red eyes lock onto them, identifying the source of the immense power. The beast realizes they are shielded by the power of another holy sword, recognizing the torrent sword's energy. The protagonist finds his hand gripping the sword, feeling its immense power flowing through him. He's shocked to find he can wield the torrent sword's power, which manifests as a crown of blue energy. Surrounded by shadowy fiends, he stands ready with his beasts, the torrent sword glowing in his hand. An overwhelming surge of blue energy from the sword engulfs him, testing his control. He realizes the sword's purpose is not to rule but to protect as he holds a blushing Lily close. As a sinister purple mist swirls around them, he checks on his companions, sensing a new presence. The mist coalesces into a ghostly figure with blank eyes, the apparent master of this dark illusion. The illusion takes the form of a young girl from his past, calling out to him with a haunting familiarity. She tries to turn him against Lily, blaming her for a past tragedy he can't forget. The sword's will urges him to break free, warning that his resolve is their only hope against the mind games. His eyes blaze with a newfound blue light, shattering the illusion's hold on his mind. With a furious slash, he dispels the phantom, enraged at being deceived by a painful memory. He confronts the true master of the realm, a massive shadow beast demanding to know if it's behind the illusions. The beast responds with a crushing stomp, demonstrating its overwhelming physical power. Blown back by the force, he accuses the creature of manipulating his companions with its dark influence. The shadow beast gathers a sinister purple energy in its claw, preparing a devastating counterattack. It unleashes a torrent of dark power, which clashes violently against the protective blue aura of the torrent sword. He struggles against the onslaught, realizing with horror that the beast is feeding on his emotions to grow even stronger. Fizz cries out in concern and whips her massive serpent tail around, racing to protect her master. She smashes her powerful body into the shadow beast, creating a massive shockwave to break its assault. Now safe, he checks on his companions, his own purification ability having cleared their minds of the dark influence. The shadow beast looks on with a sinister grin, intrigued by the powerful bond between the humans and their beasts. He warns his beast that their enemy feeds on emotion, ordering them to keep a clear mind. The shadow beast unleashes a fiery assault, forcing the team to coordinate their attacks. He commands Fizz to create a toxic smoke screen, providing cover for Lily's next move. Hidden by the mist, Lily lunges forward with fierce determination, ready to strike, but her master cries out in alarm, realizing she's fallen into the beast's emotional trap. The shadow beast unleashes a point-blank energy blast, engulfing a now vulnerable Lily. A new voice emerges from the beast, revealing the sword's power is meant only for its true king. Seizing the moment, he throws the torrent sword to Lily, urging her to take the opportunity. Her hand closes firmly around the hilt, reconnecting with the blade's immense power. She unleashes the sword's ultimate technique, a colossal pillar of water that tears through the realm. The shadow beast is defeated, collapsing to the ground with its eyes spiraling in defeat. A new demonic sword appears, its spirit chiding the torrent sword for its rebellious nature. Lily stares in amazement, realizing she's in the presence of another one of the legendary holy swords. But the new sword spirit refuses to yield its power, claiming it has its own unfinished business. The massive shadow beast reverts to a small puppy-like form, leaving the protagonist stunned by its true identity. Fizz impulsively grabs the small creature, recoiling from the intense heat radiating from its body. The demonic sword spirit reveals it has promised to lend its power to the small beast to help it achieve revenge. The torrent sword spirit furiously accuses the demonic sword of defying its king's will. Turning its attention to Fizz, the torrent sword spirit asks to borrow her body for a moment. The spirit possesses Fizz, transforming her into a powerful water serpent, ready to discipline the rogue sword. The water spirit declares the demonic beast a traitor for defying their king, lunging forward with deadly intent. Unfazed, the demonic beast stands its ground, vowing to fulfill its own promise as it prepares to strike back. The two spirits clash in a furious exchange of energy, accusing each other of being shameless traitors. He looks up in horror as the secret realm begins to shatter, realizing its master's defeat is causing it to collapse. He and Lily desperately try to stop the fight, warning that the unstable dimension won't hold for much longer. Taking matters into his own hands, he leaps between the brawling spirits demanding they stop misusing their host's bodies. He confronts the torrent sword spirit directly, forbidding it from continuing to use Fizz's body as a vessel. At his command, the blue aura of the sword spirit separates from Fizz, releasing her from its control. He catches the now unconscious Fizz, calling out her name as she reverts to her original form. The demonic sword spirit seems to accept his authority, but the moment is broken as a now conscious Fizz yelps that something bit her tail. The demonic beast explains its kin are being persecuted by a human organization and it's sworn to save them. It asks for leave to confront the enemy, revealing it has already pinpointed the location of their main base. Fizz feigns a battle injury to get her master's attention, but a skeptical Lily isn't buying her act. He realizes the enemy is the Dark Shade group, which the small beast confirms before departing on its quest. With a look of fierce resolve, the protagonist decides he's joining the fight against the Dark Shade organization. His sudden decision shocks his companions, who immediately suspect he's fallen for the enemy executive. He reassures a worried Fizz, explaining his true motive is to avenge her for being sold on the black market. Touched by his declaration, Fizz pulls him into a tight, grateful embrace. The demonic sword spirit advises the small beast to stay with the protagonist as his own companions try to hold him back. With their business concluded, the demonic spirit begins to dissolve the secret realm, preparing to send them all home. The next morning, he brings food to check on the small demonic beast is now responsible for. He opens his bedroom door, intending to offer the creature a meal. Instead, he finds the beast has taken the form of a horned woman lounging on his bed. He's completely flustered by the unexpected guest, demanding to know who she is. She explains that after being subdued by him, the beast gained this new humanoid form. She declares it's time to fulfill their promise, much to his flustered embarrassment. The demonic sword spirit takes control, having a sudden realization that leaves him confused. The spirit gets uncomfortably close, testing the appeal of its new vessel on him. It then hints that the beast itself also has feelings for him, leaving the protagonist completely stunned. The shocking revelation sends him reeling back in utter disbelief. Pinned to the floor, he demands to know what the demonic woman is trying to do. The spirit explains her beastly instincts, claiming she's simply marking what she likes. With a sly look, she suggests it's time to deepen their new bond. Meanwhile, Zhong Xinling grows worried as she and the others wait for him to return with food. Her suspicion growing, she decides to investigate the long delay herself. She peeks into the room, her mind racing with jealous thoughts about his living situation. The demonic sword spirit taunts him for his shyness as he struggles against the beast's advances. Zhong Xinling stares in utter disbelief, completely shocked by the scene unfolding before her. She bursts into the room with a furious scream interrupting the chaotic moment. The entire group confronts the newcomer, accusing her of being shameless and forbidding the spirit from possessing her. The demonic beast reports that her targets have returned to their base, deciding to delay her own plans for the protagonist. Zhong Xinling nervously questions their plan to attack the Dark Underworld gang, but the newcomer warns against trusting the Tamer association. The protagonist rallies his team, clarifying their mission as reconnaissance, not a full frontal assault. They arrive at the imposing headquarters of the Dark Underworld gang, a modern fortress shrouded in darkness. Inside, Razor and Queen Bee are bound and at the mercy of a shadowy figure, their failure having led to their capture. While Queen Bee begs for a second chance, a defeated Razor accepts they are about to be executed for their failure. A menacing horned silhouette emerges from the shadows, the terrifying leader of the Dark Underworld gang. The leader's blade flashes as he dismisses the loss of the holy sword, revealing his true disappointment lies elsewhere. He reveals himself fully, a sinister white-haired man who scolds his subordinates for their poor attitude. Ignoring their pleas for mercy, the leader unleashes a torrent of dark energy to eliminate his failed agents. He berates his agents for their incompetence, revealing they were followed directly to the headquarters. With his subordinates unconscious, the leader expresses his desire to witness the outcome of this new development. He smirks with cold confidence, wondering who would be foolish enough to challenge the dark underworld gang. Elsewhere, the protagonist and his team have successfully infiltrated the base, disguised in simple workout clothes. He notes how easily they slipped past security, finding the gang's overconfidence in their disguise amusing. Feeling that their infiltration was too easy, he sets up a magical ward as an escape plan. But their arrival is no surprise as the gang's leader watches them on a monitor, calling the protagonist the key to the holy sword. He orders a subordinate to take the key, intending to test the sword's power on the others himself. The subordinate is revealed to be a high-ranking officer named Scorpion Lion who strikes a playful pose. Activating her power, the officer turns invisible, preparing to carry out her leader's orders. Their infiltration leads them to a grim discovery, a room filled with the demonic beast's captured kin. Lily draws her sword to free them, but her master quickly stops her, warning against making a scene. He devises a clever plan to use the demonic sword to track the beasts after they are sold, leading them to the buyers. But their strategizing is cut short as the invisible officer attacks, forcing Lily to defend herself. Lily's eyes narrow with determination as she faces the unseen but powerful new threat. A blast of purple energy sends Lily reeling, and her master calls out her name in alarm. In the blink of an eye, the world around Lily seems to warp and shift. She finds herself transported to a beautiful man-made secret realm, a replica of the legendary Avalon. Back in the base, a powerful new enemy with glowing red eyes confronts the remaining team members. Realizing Lily has been taken, the protagonist knows they must defeat this new foe to get to her. The demonic beast steps forward, sword glowing, blocking the new enemy's path. The gang leader smirks, recognizing the demonic sword and noting its convenient arrival. She realizes he also wields a holy sword, which explains how he tracked them so easily. With eyes blazing, the demonic beast declares she will handle this powerful foe herself. She charges forward, leaving the rest of the team to deal with any other threats. The protagonist asks about other enemies, and Jiang Shenling recalls a grim warning from the beast. Their fears are confirmed as a massive shadowy monster materializes to confront them. The demonic beast and the leader prepare for a duel, eager to prove which of their holy swords is superior. She unleashes the full fiery power of her blade, her body erupting in a brilliant red aura. Their immense energies collide as she charges forward, her attack meeting his dark power head-on. The demonic beast furiously accuses the leader of harming her kin while he smirks, intrigued by her flames of revenge. Meanwhile, the protagonist warns Fizz to watch for an opening, realizing the shadowy monster is attacking autonomously. The monster moves with shocking speed, its claws nearly striking Fizz and Zhong Shenling before they can react. Fizz apologizes for being too slow as she and Zhong Shenling are ensnared by a paralyzing substance. The protagonist watches in shock as the demonic beast is overwhelmed by a powerful blast from the gang leader. Defeated, she sits injured on the floor, surrounded by the sorrowful whimpers of her captured brethren. The gang leader looms over them, and the protagonist realizes this foe is stronger than anyone they've ever fought. The leader looks down on his defeated opponents with a cold, triumphant smirk. In the secret realm, Lily suddenly senses her master is in grave danger. Determined to help, she summons the torrent sword, preparing to unleash its full power to break free. Lily rushes to find a way out, determined to help her master at any cost. But her escape is blocked by Scorpion Lion, who unleashes a chaotic blast of energy. The two women clash in a furious battle, their powers tearing through the tranquil secret realm. Lily struggles to land a hit, realizing with dawning horror that her opponent is completely invisible. A surprise attack from the unseen foe leaves a deep bleeding wound on her back. Defeated and injured, she collapses, knowing she's no match for this enemy in her current state. Suddenly, a mysterious golden sword embedded in a nearby rock begins to glow, sensing a familiar presence. The sword spirit identifies three holy sword wielders, Lily, the protagonist, and the gang leader. Unsure which is its true master, the sword decides to summon all three of them to its location. Meanwhile, the gang leader is surprised to find other sword wielders as the protagonist struggles to control his own blade's power. With his team down, he resolves to fight alone, confident in his past experience with a holy sword. The gang leader scoffs at his defiance, eager to test the limits of his newfound power. Their immense energies collide in a blinding flash, shaking the very foundation of the base. Both combatants are stunned as the gang leader realizes his plan to use the key has worked. A brilliant light engulfs them, pulling them away from the battlefield in an instant. He awakens in a tranquil forest, dazed and disoriented by the sudden shift in location. Sitting up, he finds himself in a peaceful clearing, his battle wounds mysteriously gone. Lily suddenly embraces him from behind, her presence confirming his wounds have been miraculously healed. Their reunion is cut short as the gang leader appears, his eyes fixed on a legendary blade. A magnificent golden sword, crackling with immense power, reveals itself as the source of the summons. The gang leader reaches for the blade, demanding to know who is the true heir recognized by the holy sword. But the sword's fiery spirit seems more interested in inspecting the gang leader's physique. Its attention then shifts to Lily, fondly recalling a previous master with similar attributes. Sensing a familiar power, Lily's arm begins to transform, sprouting golden dragon scales. She embraces the change, declaring herself a true golden dragon, worthy of the blade. The sword spirit seemingly agrees, floating over to Lily and declaring her its new master. The gang leader taunts her as the fickle spirit suddenly seems to fawn over him instead, enraging Lily. The protagonist realizes with disgust that the sword is a lecherous spirit with a preference for mature women. He comes to the horrifying conclusion that the strongest holy sword chooses its wielder based on their physical appeal. The perverted sword spirit finally notices the protagonist, surprised to find another man present. The golden sword spirit declares its independence, vowing to choose its master based on its own desires. Seeing an opportunity, the protagonist decides to beat the lecherous sword at its own game. He calls out to the sword, successfully piquing its interest with a tempting offer. He summons his other female beasts, promising the sword an entire harem if it chooses his side. The perverted sword is instantly captivated, its fiery form glowing with delight at the proposition. It becomes completely lost in a lecherous fantasy, its resolve crumbling before the tempting offer. The sword imagines a paradise for itself surrounded by the very beauties the protagonist presented. Impressed by the protagonist's cunning, the sword spirit flies over to praise him for his brilliant idea. But the spirit clarifies it has already decided which body it wants to inhabit. Feeling mocked and ignored, the furious gang leader unleashes a powerful attack on the sword. The golden sword spirit roars with indignation, enraged that the gang leader dared to attack it. To the leader's shock, his own holy sword is effortlessly deflected by the golden blade's power. He looks down in confusion as his own weapon's power is completely neutralized. The leader clutches his chest realizing the counterattack has already struck him. Now truly furious, the golden sword spirit accuses the leader of mocking its authority. It unleashes a devastating wave of energy, declaring him unworthy of its immense power. The gang leader cries out as is caught in the overwhelming golden assault. He is completely engulfed by the blast, refusing to accept his sudden defeat. The sword spirit smugly praises its own precise and powerful strike. It then floats over to the demonic beast, recognizing her as its temporary master. The golden sword's hilt is gripped firmly, its immense power crackling with golden lightning. The protagonist watches in alarm as Lily is engulfed by the sword's overwhelming energy, becoming its new wielder. The power transfer culminates in a massive explosion, blasting everyone back from the epicenter. When the light fades, Lily stands with her clothes tattered from the blast, looking slightly dazed. The sword spirit mockingly comments on its new master's low level despite finding the view enjoyable. The spirit then manifests a new childlike humanoid form complaining about the protagonist's lack of control. The team stares in disbelief as the sword spirit smugly explains its unique ability to take a physical form. She introduces herself as Avalon and immediately demands the protagonist make good on his promise of a harem. Avalon shamelessly inspects a flustered Lily while the protagonist realizes he's made a deal with a very troublesome spirit. With the chaos settled, the legendary sacred sword Avalon officially becomes the newest member of their team. The defeated gang leader smirks, hoping the protagonist survives long enough to truly master him. Back in the secret realm, the gang leader is overwhelmed by a massive sphere of golden energy. He curses the perverted sword's power as the portal to the secret realm closes, trapping him. Meanwhile, a panicked scorpion lion informs her new boss that their headquarters has been overrun. She reports using her invisibility to save Queen Bee, but Razor and the others were captured in the raid. Scorpion Lion tries to rally her furious boss, insisting they can make a comeback if they escape. But the boss reveals their situation is dire as their organization is tied to powerful high-level figures. She knows that with the gang's collapse, they are now loose ends that these shadowy figures will want to eliminate. Her demonic sword pulses with dark energy as she prepares for the inevitable confrontation. A vision of Queen Bee appears as the boss vows to protect her, determined to fulfill an old promise. Captured in the dark group's base, the team is bound by purple energy, with Lily confidently awaiting rescue. Suddenly, a squad of armed men storms the room, desperately trying to save a captured Jiang Shenling. The scene shifts to a sprawling neon-drenched metropolis under a crescent moon. In a lavish office, a powerful figure questions his subordinate about a delayed shipment from the dark group. The man, Zhong Kai of the Zhong family, learns the group was arrested and calmly asks who was behind it. His subordinate nervously explains their own men acted after the dark group kidnapped Jiang Kai's sister. Finding the tangled situation amusing, Jiang Kai stands up with a look of cold interest. He learns his sister was taken to the gang's headquarters by the protagonist, connecting the dots. With a glint in his eye, he adjusts his glasses, a plan already forming in his mind. He gives a chilling order to his subordinate, instructing him to eliminate anyone who gets in his way. The perverted sword spirit, Avalon, is overcome with joy while being embraced by the demonic beast. The protagonist's entire harem of beasts dotes on Avalon, with Fizz giving a tight hug and the demonic beast offering snacks. A flustered Jiang Shenlin accuses the protagonist of being a creep, but he coolly dismisses her concerns. The protagonist casually manhandles Avalon, declaring that her lecherous personality is anything but childlike. The demonic beast chimes in, professing her love for beauty in all its forms, which only annoys the competitive Avalon. Avalon changes her tune, formally approving of the demonic beast as a worthy knight chosen by the Sword of Wrath. The word knights piques the protagonist's interest, while Lily recalls a prophetic dream about finding 12 of them. Fizz demands answers from Avalon about the 12 knights as the protagonist speculates on their connection to the Holy Sword clan. With a confident smirk, Avalon confirms they have indeed been chosen by the Holy Sword clan. The demonic beast has a sudden epiphany, her own sword glowing with dark power as she understands her new purpose. The torrent sword spirit explains that beasts chosen to protect the Dragon King are revered as knights. Avalon clarifies that these 12 knights are the crystal beasts chosen by the 12 holy swords. These special knights can channel the power of the Holy Sword clan to greatly enhance their strength. Their primary duty is to protect the new crystal beast king, uniting them in a single purpose. The group is left confused, questioning their roles and how they can all access these legendary powers. Annoyed by the barrage of questions, Avalon erupts in a flash of light, demanding order. The scene transitions to the sleek modern building of the Tamer Association Hall. He confidently requests a mock battle to level up his beasts, which the receptionist agrees to arrange. He ponders how Lily, a royal descendant, can freely wield a holy sword's power while the knights are more limited. He concludes that even the ancient spirit Avalon is baffled by how humans can command the holy sword's power. They arrive at the massive Beastmaster examination venue for the mock battle. Their opponent is a ferocious wolf beast with a menacing crystal embedded in its forehead. The protagonist knows Fizz must evolve to knight level to control the torrent sword's power. He encourages Fizz, determined to help her become the sword's new master. Watching from above, a sinister man declares that anyone opposing his foundation must be eliminated. The battle begins as Fizz coils her powerful body around the wolf, and her master urges her to strike. But as Fizz attacks, the wolf's forehead crystal shatters a seal and begins to glow with immense power. The protagonist watches in shock as the wolf beast is engulfed in a sinister red aura. With a powerful roar, the beast unleashes its true form, evolving into a much larger crystal-covered monster. The sudden surge of power sends a surprised Fizz flying backward, completely overwhelming her. He cries out in alarm as a dazed Fizz is sent hurtling toward him. The monstrous wolf lunges forward, but the torrent sword unleashes a protective blue aura. With a furious roar, the beast swings its massive claw, aiming to finish the fight. The wolf's attack clashes violently with the sword's defensive energy, creating a massive shockwave. The protagonist is sent flying by the explosion, the torrent sword knocked from his grasp. The man in the stand smirks, unimpressed by the protagonist's performance against his trap. But Fizz recovers, taking her humanoid form and vowing to protect her master. Surrounded by a powerful blue aura, he calmly tells his loyal beast not to overexert herself. He takes up the glowing torrent sword, deciding to handle this powerful new threat himself. Alright, that's the end of the story. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.